Now, down here is where you can select your different options for your message. So you can just send a general text message here. You can ask questions, right? You can ask a question where someone has to reply with text, very open-ended question. Now you can also ask a question by picking an option, which is my favorite option because you're able to provide something fun, right? They have to click one of these buttons to continue on with your DM automation, right? It's a DM funnel, is what I call it. And by doing this, you control the narrative. You control where the automation and where you're going to end up leading someone to go. And you can do, you can do different options here. If you have, say for instance, like you want to give someone an offer or an ebook or get them into a course, you do the different options right here. You can ask the question and you can lead them. And by clicking this button, you're doing different, you're creating different responses per whichever of these options that they choose, right? So if they choose test, then you can create a different message in here by clicking this. You can even send images if you'd like, and you just get them into a different funnel, which is super cool. And then at the bottom, you can actually follow up with a message, which is super cool, up to 23 hours after they respond to your first message. So really cool ways. And also another thing that you can do is you can actually send a link. Very useful if you're just trying to get someone into, say for instance, you have a great like landing page and you just want to drive people to your landing page, go ahead and do that. If you have a newsletter, you're trying to get people signed up for a newsletter, you can do that as well by sending a link. So that's how you can create automation super quickly using InstaChamp, right? So looking back at what we have here, let's look at some examples of how you can use these automations in your content and to drive business results today. So this is an example of a listing of how you can use this for realtors. So if you are looking to, for instance, if you do a post where you're asking someone to if they're looking for a house, say for instance in Miami or Miami Beach houses, you can send them to your website where you have this like generated list of houses, say for instance under 400,000, which I don't think that's really a thing anymore in Miami at least. So you can send them this list and you can have them select whatever option that they're trying to do here, right? If you're trying to book a viewing, you can go ahead and get them into that funnel where they can, you're asking them to give you their name, email, and phone number, and you'll give them a call shortly, right? If you're a realtor running around town, you may not always be able to get that information, right? So might as well gather it now. That way, when you're ready, you can go ahead and look in your DMs and give them that call back, and you're qualifying them in there, right? You're already giving them value, right? They're looking at houses, and you're giving them different options based on things that they reply. So super really cool way that you can use DM keywords, as a realtor. Again, if you are a course creator, go ahead and do that question with options to get someone into your funnel, and you can send them a course based on what they're looking for, right? If you have like a Reels course, you can change this to Reels. If you have a lead gen course, go ahead and do that as well. Different options here. Again, if you're doing a funnel, same strategy here. You're being able to send people through these different options here, where they're selecting the options that they want to do that with. So great way to generate leads that way. If you are an influencer, right? Like this is a super cool option is, say for instance, you are partnering with, I just found a random, so a clinic, and you're selling this moisturizer. Go ahead in your content, your DM and your stories and your post, go ahead and say, DM me or comment the word moisturizer to learn more and learn where you can buy this online now, right? So this is great if you're an affiliate too, right? You have your link, you have your code, send them that message right here. this is a great place to provide them more information if you weren't able to do that in your story or in your post, right? So you can give them more information here. Or if you have a ton of different skin moisturizer options, you could do that again where you're asking questions and qualifying people into the right product. And super cool that I love to do because it adds a lot of personality is go ahead and use GIFs or photos to like spruce up these automations. And again, you can personalize it by using this personalized messaging. So if you click that, you're able to, what it's going to do is it's going to use Instagram's information to pull their first name, their last name, full name, or handle, whatever your option is of whatever, how you want to build that message. So super cool way if you're an influencer to create some content. If you're a coach, again, if you have a mastermind class, great way to get someone to a funnel, pre-qualify them before you enter them into your course, and you'll send them into your link if you have a website, or you can go ahead and qualify them in your DMs and have yourself or your team message them. Again, if you're doing a post, like I mentioned, the real estate one is a great option. This one is for a camera store, so you can qualify people. Say, for instance, you're selling a product on your story, or sorry, on your post. You can add different keywords, right? Like if you're interested in camera, go ahead and drop that keyword. And if you have a kind of like a broad audience that's outside of, like, say, for instance, you're a local realtor or local brick and mortar, you can give them options, right? Like, are they local or are they kind of out of state? Like, do you want to ship it? And you can go ahead and either ask them to do a local pickup if they're local, give them that benefit of not having to pay for shipping, or if they're out of kind of your network, go ahead and ask them to ship. And what you're going to do is you just send them to the link of where your product is and get them into that funnel. So super cool way to do that as well. Now, story mentions, like I mentioned, is you can automatically send people a message based on them mention you. But a really cool strategy of using story mentions is you can actually create a keyword. And what you can do is something like this. Let me show you. Is you can add in your story, have that like this one right here, where you can do a post or a story where if someone tags you, you're able to give them a freebie, or you're able to give them information of something. And by asking them to tag you and share them in your stories, what you're doing is you're reaching a lot more people, right? Because they're sharing it to their audience, and their audience is seeing your post. And if they like your content or your offer, they're going to click on you, follow you, like that post, and you're going to get the snowball effect of the algorithm preferring you over, maybe someone who's doing something similar to you, and your post gets a lot more engagement. So very cool way to like reach new audience and new followers just using this really cool tool. So, and story reactions, again, similar concept. You just ask someone to react to a story in a certain way that's going to trigger an automation. Now, I hope that you got a lot of great examples out of this, and you understand now what InstaChamp can do, the features, and how to set these up. Go out there and have fun. Thank you all for paying attention and learning something new, and happy automating.